Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good day. One of the most asked questions is how do I install a Super Nintendo emulator and Super Nintendo games on my Nvidia Shield? Well, today's your lucky day. We're going to show you how, and it's so simple, and it's just going to take a few minutes. So sit back and get ready to learn how to install Super Nintendo emulator on your Nvidia Shield.
Look, trip.
Hey everyone, welcome to Blip Trip. Today we're going to show you how to install a Super Nintendo emulator, how to get games, and show you how we play a few games on here. And it's real simple, real easy. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and hit the subscribe button, please, and also hit that bell button so you can see when we have new videos. We're going to do a lot of emulators, a lot of emulation, a lot of video games for the Nvidia Shield. So make sure you do that. First thing we're going to do is go to the Google Play Store, and you will have this on your Nvidia Shield. And we're going to go up and tell it that we want Super Nintendo ROMs. Okay, so as you can see, I typed in Super NES, and all of these Super Nintendo emulators came up ready to download. Now you can see some are identical. The difference is one is a paid version, one is not a paid version. Typically your non-paid versions have functions that are disabled, but they're usually very playable and very usable, and a lot of times the functions that are available on the pay ones aren't really worth the money. However, if you do have the money, it's not a lot. There's a Super Retro NES, $3.99. The Super NES 9X EX Plus, absolutely free. So a lot of emulators have come up, and we are going to install one right now. And we are going to use the Super NES 9X EX Plus. And you can see when we click on it, there's an option to install. You can go down and look at the descriptions and the screenshots if you'd like. And we are installing our Nintendo emulator. How easy is this? It took less than 2 minutes, and we are installing our emulator, and within another minute we'll be opening it. Alright, our Super Nintendo emulator is done downloading. Now it's given us the option to open it, so click on open. Okay, so this is the main screen for the Super Nintendo emulator, and if you look on here, you've got the option to load game, load bundled games, system actions, some input stuff. If for some reason your buttons are already mapped when you go in here, if for some reason you do not like the way the buttons are set up and you want to change them, this is where you would go to do that. Here you would set up the buttons the way that you want them. If you go under options, you want to leave most of these alone. The aspect ratio, I have set it full screen, but you can set it up as the original. You can set it up as full screen. You can set it up whatever way you like to look at it. If you go to the UI and you go down to menu, you got some options. The way the menu comes up, for some reason for me, it cuts off on the left-hand side of the screen. So you can click on something like Landscape 2, and it kind of lets you open her back up, see what that does for you. So I'm going to go back to my options, and I'm going to go to Portrait. Now I can read everything the way I need to read it. Now this isn't going to affect the game, just the way I see things. This is really helpful when you go to loading games. So now we're going to tell it how to load one of our ROMs. So we're going to click on Load Game. And the first thing that comes up for me anyway is everything that's in my internal on my Nvidia Shield. So I want to get to my external hard drive with my games on it. So I clicked up at the top and I hit my A button and it took me to this screen, storage devices. And here are my two drives. This drive has all of my video game folders on it, and I'm looking for Super Nintendo. So there's my Nintendo 8-bit, Nintendo DS, and there is Super NES games. So I'm going to click on that, and there are all of my Super NES games. So the next time I come back and I do a load game, it is going to show up right on this page where I can see all of my games right off the bat without having to go through that whole process again. As you can see, I have a lot of Super NES games, so you could spend some time scrolling through and finding stuff that you want. So let's go through here and look at our games real quick. Now, let me show you. If I come out now, if I click load game, I come right back to where I left it at. So once again, let's find a game we want to play. And besides, your typical ROMs that you would get, you can go out there. You can find modded games for the Super NES and things you've never played. You can find files that have all of the Super Nintendo ROMs bundled in. Let's look at Street Fighter 2 real quick. That's a popular one. So all I did was click on it. I'm hitting my A button. This is Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Capcom. You always know you're going to get a good game when you see Capcom come up. Spent a lot of quarters in the arcade playing Street Fighter 2, just the regular one, but I probably suck as bad as it now. I probably suck at it as bad now as I did then. Okay, so it's come up and we're hitting our start button, and in this case, the start button for this emulator is the circle button down at the bottom. So on the bottom row of your controller, you have 3 buttons. And the third one, if you click on it, is the start button for this. So we can do turbo, normal, and I'm going to do normal. And game start. And I pick my character. Alright, I'm going to be Ken. I suck at all of them, so it doesn't matter who I choose. I'm going to get my butt kicked. Alright. And again, I am just using the controller for the Nvidia Shield. Nothing special, no special buttons. Ouch! There we go. Please be kind in the comments about how bad I suck at this game. Oh, he got me good. Now, if we hit the button on the left at the bottom, the very first button, it takes us back to a screen that gives us some options. You can enable cheats on this, reset this game. I could save this. Let's say I was playing, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and I got to a certain point. I could save exactly where I'm at, come back and load that state, and it starts you at exactly the point that you left off at. You can add a game shortcut to launcher, screenshot the next frame, or close the game. We're going to close the game. It's going to ask us if that's what we want to do. We're going to tell it yes, and it takes us right back to our list of Super Nintendo games. So now we'll take another game here, and we'll do Super Mario Kart. Spent a lot of time playing this. Now with this, if you have 2 controllers, 3 controllers. Sync them up with your Nvidia Shield. Choose the option to play a 2-player game and go to town. And I'm going to be Yoshi. Now, I did used to be good at this, but that was a long time ago. Whoa. Get the coins, get the coins, get the coins. Don't hit the pipes. Yes, I suck, yes. Alright, what do we get? What do we get? Ooh, we got a green shell. Ooh, I didn't throw it at the right time. I'm all over the road. I passed the princess. Oh. Okay, I won't embarrass myself any longer. Go down to close game. And we have to do Super Mario World. And I have been playing this, and I have a save feature on here for where I played the game. It asked me if I want to continue at that point, and I am exactly where I left off last time. And I got my Yoshi. Sorry. Boom. Oh, man. Yes. Now, I want to show you real quick. I'm going to click on Save State. And you see there I got killed. I'm going to go back to Load State. And it puts me at exactly that point. And it would do that for you whether you turn the game off. If you come back a week from now. Down the pipe. Ooh, I remember this. Seems like you have to pick these up and throw them up. Oh. It's been so long. But anyway, that is Super Mario World. I've yet to have a ROM that did not work on this. So this is how you install a Super Nintendo emulator. I showed you where you could possibly go to get ROMs, how to load them, how to play them, how to save them. It's very simple. And once you get to going, once you get the games that you want loaded, for me, the easiest way is to go to my PC, my computer, and load up a bunch of games on an external drive, point it to that, and then they, have my library set up. Different emulators do different things, different functions, different menus, and we'll be showing you others. In fact, we're going to have a video where we compare some emulators, like some Super Nintendo emulators, but we're also going to do emulators for Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, Atari, Sega, PlayStation. So make sure you subscribe so you see all of those videos coming up. From Blip Trip, this is Super Nintendo Emulator for the Nvidia Shield. Install it, enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. Take care.